Jonathan Andrews.
Well, I have a few mentors, too many, but one of them is phenomenal. One of them always tells me the right thing at the right time. And 2 weeks ago, we sat down, and I was telling him everything that was going on with me over the past few months, and he said, Jonathan, I'm going to teach you a lesson tonight, a lesson that I learned a long time ago. He said, there's 3 types of people in the world, and I'm going to split you guys up in a group just so you can visualize it. There's people that are wise, people that are smart. I'm sorry. And there's people that are stupid. I'm sorry. He said, the people that are wise, they're doing so well, they're so far ahead, they're the super achievers in the world because they learn from other people's mistakes. The people that are smart, they do well because they learn from their own mistakes. And then he said, there's people that are stupid, and it's because they keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. And I said, wow, I am really stupid. Here I am thinking, I'm so smart, but he was right. And that came up because I was telling him just 1 month ago from this day, a series of unfortunate events happened, and it left me homeless. It forced me to reflect. People always say, I'm so charismatic. They say I'm supportive. They say I'm such a good guy. And there I was, kicked out, homeless. I was angry, and I was blaming people, and finally, I was honest with myself. And I figured out where it all went wrong. I think I've always been on the receiving end of my relationships. I've always been a taker. I've always asked for far more than I've ever given. And it took me all of my 22 years and being kicked out of my grandma's house for me to understand this universal truth. The secret to living is giving. Last April, I got offered a job in downtown Toronto. And for those of you that know me, which is very few people here, they would know I hate sitting. Living in Bradford at that time, 2 hours on the GO train to Toronto. I wasn't about to ride 2 hours to Toronto and 2 hours back every day. I wasn't going to do it. And then it hit me. 3 years prior, my sister lived in Toronto with my nana when she was going to school at Ryerson. I thought, this is fucking perfect. I'll just live with my nana and I won't have to worry about the harsh commute. I smiled because I said, they're family and they'll be obligated to help me out. And they did. Now, if I was wise, I would have quickly recognized that my nana had all the leverage. She was opening up her home to me and giving me everything she had to offer. If I was wise, I would have grilled my sister, asked everything my nana loved, everything that are all of her quirks, and found out that anything I may do, that would really piss her off, which turned out to be virtually everything I ever did. But I took her generosity for granted. As I settled in, I got into a rhythm of waking up early, coming home late at night to a dinner prepared by my nana, and then packing up my leftovers, ready to do it all again the next day. 6 months passed, and I came home, and my aunts and my nana were at the dinner table, and they said, we need to chat. Now, I didn't understand what they said next. They said, Jonathan, you've been living here now for 6 months. When we say to do something or to stop doing something, we mean it. We opened up our home out of the goodness of our hearts. And if you're going to stay here, you're going to need to start contributing like it's your home too. Now, let me ask you guys, to how many of you that makes sense? I didn't get it. If I was smart, I would have realized that, hey, I've been making a mistake. This is a great learning lesson. I've been focusing on what I can get rather than what I can give. The relationship has been completely one-sided, not even close to 50-50. A few more months passed, and I didn't change much. You can guess what happened next. One day I came home. I walked up to my short, non-English speaking Italian grandpa, and before I could say a word, he looked at me and said, "Get out." I thought he was kidding. He wasn't. I sat there devastated. I was angry, I was confused, but most of all, I just felt stupid. How didn't I see this coming? And as much as I wanted to argue all the reasons as to why I should stay, there weren't any. What a sobering experience being homeless was for me. A few nights in the cold, sleeping in the backseat of my car, made me really see the light. I sat there, and I cried, and I got it. The secret to living is giving. I realized that life is not a zero-sum game. If you give in any capacity, you give with your money, you help connect someone to the right person, you help someone else become more successful, it doesn't mean there's any less for you. The world doesn't work that way. But that's how I saw my life. But now I'm realizing life is the exact opposite. None of you here know me, but for those of you that do, I got my dad over there, he knows that 4 months ago, I severely injured my vocal cords. I was in the hospital with a tube up my nose and down my throat. The doctor telling me that you've damaged them pretty bad. I realize the only time it feels good is right now. When I'm giving, when I'm sharing. It's when a friend calls me up, he's got a problem and he needs my hand. The secret to living is giving. And there's only upside in it for me, and there's only upside in it for you. My friends, let me tell you why. Because sleeping in a warm, soft bed with the fireplace blazing beats the shit out of sleeping in the cold in the backseat of my 2000 Jetta every single time. Thank you, Carl.